Welcome in. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Boys and girls, I want to talk a little bit about a players-only meeting that happened today. Garrett Wilson confirmed it on the Bart and Hahn show earlier, and I want to discuss some of the clips from Garrett Wilson post-game after the Raiders game, and then go into the comments that were made in this players-only meeting, according to Garrett Wilson, and then we can kind of get an idea of where his head's at, how I feel about the whole thing, and how you guys feel about it as well. So let's hop into the two clips from Garrett Wilson post-game.
Yeah, I mean, it feels about that. I don't know what y'all want me to say, man. I'm tired of this, man, and I want to play better. The whole offense wants to play better. You know, we're just saying what we was trying to do. You know, we come out every week trying to, make it happen. And, it's frustrating. All bets are on the table, man. We were trying to figure it out, and I could see something like that going down soon because, it has to. I might take it upon myself, but I know we got some guys in the locker room that they've always, holds a lot of weight, and we'll see what it's like traveling back to New York, what we talk about, and we got to figure this out.
When you think of leadership on the Jets, you immediately jump to the captains. Aaron Rodgers is the offensive captain. C.J. Mosley's the defensive captain. Justin Hardy is the special teams captain. So when you kind of think of it that way, you're like, okay, the voices that Garrett Wilson is talking about are the more veteran guys in this locker room. But I don't even necessarily think that. I mean, Garrett Wilson should absolutely have a C on his chest. Actually, once Rodgers went down, I'm surprised they didn't try to transfer that C over to him. When I think of offensive players like on our team, he's really the one that stands out the most from a leadership perspective. And that's not a knock on anyone else. He's kind of been more stoic, been more open about some of the issues and taking some responsibility on himself. He wants to play better. He's tired of this. This is how I want my players to feel after a loss. Like, you could tell this hurts Garrett Wilson. And when he was asked about, do you think there should be a players only meeting? He said, I think that's something that might have to happen here. All bets are on the table, all that good stuff. Well, the players only meeting happened today. I want to talk about some of the comments. This was over on the Bart and Hahn show. Garrett Wilson, you can see this is from the New York Post, kind of talking about it. Garrett Wilson, Jets hold players only meeting in midst of tailspin. It matters to us, was the quote that they chose. The guys talked and we had the floor, Wilson said. It was just us. We got to make sure we're all on the same page about where we're at and how the hell we get out of this funk, man. That was really the message of it. When it comes from one of your teammates, it always hits different. It always resonates a little bit more. That was the case earlier today. We don't want to ever finish a season and look back and be like, we should have done this earlier. So let's talk about it now. Let's talk about it, and hopefully it leads to results. So obviously the team, whenever you hear player-only team meeting, usually things are pretty bad. And obviously after the Jets lost to the Raiders and the loss to the Chargers the last 2 weeks, there has been a lot of criticism on the offensive side of the ball. And Garrett Wilson is feeling that pressure because he wants to win. The whole team wants to win. It's not for a lack of trying. It's just, whether it's play calling, whether it's penalties, whether it's offensive line play, whether it's Zach's play, drops from the receivers. There's a lot of blame to go around. But it's nice to see that the players only meeting is kind of that, they police themselves. They come in and they say, hey, look, we need to play better. Forget what everyone says outside of these walls. I don't want to say forget what the coaches say, but just kind of like, let's handle this from within. I do like this. Anyone that's played sports before understands what a players only meeting is. It's called upon in times of need, but it's not necessarily a super negative thing by any means. It doesn't guarantee anything. We've got to go out there and do it, but we're taking the right steps and we're turning over every stone because it matters to us. This is because something that weighs heavy on all players, this has been something that weighs heavy on all players on the offense. I'm truly sorry about the product offensively we've put on the field this season up to this point. And I know all the guys would say the exact same thing. The beautiful thing is that we've got another opportunity. The team's passing offense under quarterback Zach Wilson, 30th in the NFL. And then I think I got another comment down here. I won MVP twice. Oh, this is going to Aaron Rodgers in regards to the switching of the play caller. He said, I won MVP twice in the same offense, so I'm a believer in the offense. It's easy right now to throw it at the usual suspects, Zach and Nathaniel, but that's a lot of positions that need to play better. So obviously Aaron Rodgers chiming in on his thoughts as well. And overall, I can say I love these comments from Garrett Wilson. I love the players only, atmosphere. Let them, hash it out. There's got to be some tough things that are said. And I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in that room. And I think when you look at what things need to change, we heard Robert Saleh said there's going to be some changes. We already saw just a few hours ago, Michael Carter was released. He had that critical chop block penalty on a 3rd and 8 that wound up going to Gibson and got called back. It was right after halftime, and it just stymied any sort of, progress that the Jets were going to have. And I would imagine the halftime speech during the Raider game was pretty aggressive from a don't screw up on penalties, and to have that immediately after halftime. I think that's why Carter was definitely benched and then ultimately let go. Now, was he made an example of because there was other guys that were causing issues? Obviously, there's some problems with the offensive line. There's drops. There's a whole lot of things going on. I do think there was probably something to the, okay, Michael Carter is kind of a player you can sort of have fall on the sword, and it's not going to be incredibly detrimental to you. I think there's probably a little bit of angst. We saw that blow up with Carter earlier in the season. He did apologize for it. He handled it really well. But overall, I think players trying to take accountability for everything and realizing, hey, the coaches can train us and coach us however much and say, it's easy for fans to say, okay, the coach needs to have the ultimate control of the locker room and everyone that causes penalties. This is on the coach. They're unfocused. There's 53 other dudes on that roster that have all these different livelihoods going on in their head, and they're just not dialed in at times. And sometimes you just have to say, you got to take personal accountability. And I think that's where this players only meeting comes. Not to mention, there's not a whole lot you can really do across the board because you don't have Aaron Rodgers right now. You don't have Nathaniel Hackett. He's not leaving. Sneezing mid-show. Okay. You have Nathaniel Hackett, but you're not getting rid of him because you have Aaron Rodgers here for next year. Aaron Rodgers is coming in next year. You have Zach, who has the highest ceiling of all the quarterbacks. And you don't necessarily want to throw anyone under the bus, but are you really feeling comfortable with Trevor Siemian or Tim Boyle? You probably are not. You're probably saying, okay, with our offensive line, Zach probably does give us the best chance to win this. But having some accountability, maybe that cuts down on some of the penalties. Maybe that gets some extra players up and playing. Because with Robert Saleh saying there's going to be some changes this week, Izzy coming in for Michael Carter is definitely something fans have been talking about. Ruckert supplanting Uzama is another young guy that's been playing well that we would like to see out there. It goes on across the board, and I think the New York Jets and not the fans, the players and the coaches understand something's got to get done, and we just got to get out of this funk because unless they change it, nothing's going to happen for the rest of this year. There is no help coming in. There's no magical free agent that's just out there right now, and the trade deadline's already passed. So you got to figure it the hell out, and you got to figure it out fast. We got lucky with the Bills losing to the Broncos on Monday night because now that slightly opens the door. They just fired their offensive coordinator. They got nothing going on up in Buffalo. They're reeling right now. We are primed, coming off 2 losses, trying to get this ship right. Go up to Buffalo. You normally play them really tough. The last 2 years, you have given Josh Allen fits. Let's do it again. Let's get back on the track. Let's get a division win against Buffalo and then go into the Miami game on Black Friday and shock the world and take care of business. So, guys, I've got a little bit of newfound confidence. I don't know where this is coming from, considering we had a 3% chance of winning or getting into the playoffs at the end of the Raider game. I'm feeling a little bit better about this. I like that our players are taking accountability. Let me know what you guys think of the players only meeting down below in the comment section. Are you concerned about these types of meetings? Do you think it's necessary? Do you think this was the right time to do it? Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, go Jets.